More than 2 decades after turning down one of the biggest stages in entertainment, the Backstreet Boys are making it clear they want the Super Bowl halftime show, and this time, they're not passing it up. In a twist that feels almost cinematic, the legendary boy band has publicly expressed interest in headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, roughly 25 years after declining the opportunity. For fans who grew up on late 90s pop anthems and perfectly choreographed dance breaks, the idea feels long overdue. For the band, it's unfinished business, and if they get their way, it could be one of the most nostalgic, high-energy halftime shows in NFL history, the opportunity they once walked away from. To understand why this moment feels so significant, we have to rewind to 2001. At the height of their global fame, the Backstreet Boys were offered the chance to headline the halftime show during Super Bowl 35. Instead, they made a surprising decision. They chose to perform the national anthem rather than take the halftime spotlight. At the time, it wasn't seen as a misstep. The band was riding massive success from albums like Millennium and Black and Blue. Singing the anthem felt prestigious, even patriotic. The halftime show landscape was also different back then, less of a cultural juggernaut than it has since become. That 2001 halftime show ultimately featured major pop and rock acts, including Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. Looking back now, it's hard not to imagine how different history might have been if Backstreet had taken that slot. Why now? So why are they ready and vocal about wanting the halftime stage now? 1. A legacy that's still intact. Unlike many late 90s pop acts, the Backstreet Boys never truly disappeared. The lineup, A.J. McLean, Nick Carter, Kevin Richardson, Brian Littrell, and Howie Dorough, has remained largely intact. They've continued to tour internationally, release music, and maintain a fiercely loyal fanbase. Their Las Vegas residency proved they can still command massive crowds. Their harmonies are polished, their choreography still sharp, their catalog practically built for a stadium sing-along. I Want It That Way, Everybody Backstreet's Back, Larger Than Life, As Long As You Love Me, Shape of My Heart. These are generational anthems. A Super Bowl halftime show thrives on instantly recognizable hits. Few groups check that box more confidently. 2. Nostalgia is big business. The NFL has leaned heavily into nostalgia in recent years. Halftime performances from legacy acts have proven wildly successful, tapping into audiences who grew up in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. The millennials who plastered their bedroom walls with Backstreet posters. They're adults now, many watching the Super Bowl with families of their own. The timing feels right. Cultural cycles are predictable. The late 90s revival has been building in fashion, music, and media. A Backstreet halftime performance wouldn't feel dated, it would feel celebratory. 3. A full circle narrative. There's something powerful about redemption arcs and second chances. The idea of a band returning to claim the stage they once declined adds emotional weight to the story. It's not just Backstreet Boys want to perform. It's Backstreet Boys are ready to finish what they started. That storyline alone is compelling enough to headline Entertainment News. What a Backstreet halftime show could look like if they landed the gig. The production possibilities are enormous. A halftime show lasts about 12 to 15 minutes, which means medleys are essential. Imagine a dramatic opening with larger than life and futuristic visuals. A stadium-wide sing-along to I Want It That Way. A high-energy dance break for everybody. Backstreet's Back. Emotional harmonies during Shape of My Heart. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There's been speculation that if Backstreet headlined, they might turn the show into a full late 90s pop celebration. Collaborations with former chart rivals like NSYNC, or surprise guest appearances from icons of that era could transform the halftime show into a once-in-a-generation pop summit. The Super Bowl stage has become known for spectacle, surprise guests, massive choreography, jaw-dropping visuals. The Backstreet Boys have the catalog and charisma to match that scale. The business side of halftime. The Super Bowl halftime show isn't just about nostalgia or fan service, it's strategic. Artists don't get paid their usual performance fees. Instead, they benefit from exposure. Album streams skyrocket, tours sales surge, and cultural relevance spikes overnight. For a band with decades of history, a halftime show could introduce their music to a new generation. Gen Z may know I Want It That Way from memes and TikTok trends, but seeing it performed live on the world's biggest stage could redefine it for them. Do they have the momentum? Recent years have shown that the NFL isn't afraid to spotlight artists with deep catalogs and cross-generational appeal. Backstreet Boys also recently appeared in major Super Bowl commercials, proving their brand still resonates with mainstream audiences. They've remained scandalite compared to many legacy acts, which makes them a safe choice for a family-friendly broadcast. And importantly, they've been vocal about wanting it. Enthusiasm matters. Public support campaigns can build pressure and buzz. Why they're a strong fit here? What works in their favor? Stadium-ready hits, clean, family-friendly, imagine multi-generational, appeal-proven live performance, skillsy, compelling 25-year redemption narrative. The Super Bowl halftime show thrives on familiarity and spectacle. The Backstreet Boys offer both. The challenge, of course, the competition for the halftime show is fierce. Modern pop titans, global streaming superstars, and genre-bending artists are all potential contenders. The NFL balances legacy appeal with cultural relevance, often choosing artists at the height of their current mainstream dominance. Backstreet Boys would need to prove they're not just nostalgic, but still culturally impactful. Fortunately, their continued touring success and social media presence suggests they still command attention. The emotional factor, there's something undeniably sentimental about the idea of them finally taking that stage. Imagine the opening notes of I Want It That Way echoing through a packed stadium, tens of thousands singing in unison, millions watching at home. A band that once defined teenage romance and pop euphoria reclaiming the spotlight. 25 years ago, they chose a different path. Now, they're ready for the headline moment. What it would mean for their legacy if the Backstreet Boys secure the halftime show. It would cement their place in pop history in a new way. They're already one of the best-selling boy bands of all time, but a Super Bowl halftime performance is a cultural stamp of approval, an acknowledgement that your music transcends eras. It's not just a concert, it's a coronation. Backstreet's second chance. The beauty of this story lies in its symmetry. In 2001, they stood on the Super Bowl stage, but not as headliners. In 2027 or beyond, they could return not just as performers, but as icons, reclaiming their moment. And if the crowd's reaction to the idea is any indication, fans are ready. Backstreet's back. The only question is whether the NFL will hand them the mic and let them finally take center field.